So basically, the studio behind this sorry, wrong one, behind this was gone. And it is not just gone, it's completely gone. Okay, so basically, Monolith Productions, the studio behind Middle-earth Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor, was shut down by Warner Bros. Games earlier this year in February. And after that, this year in May, EA also shut down Cliffhanger Games, which is the original team from Monolith Productions. So at this moment, the entirety of Monolith Productions is no more, completely gone. And bro, this is how the whole story goes. Basically, after the success of Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor, Monolith Productions wanted to develop something new. They didn't want to keep on the old things. They wanted something completely new, and they didn't want a third Middle-earth game. So they decided to work on a game codenamed Legacy. However, on the other side of the board, Warner Bros. Wasn't happy with the decision, but they still let them continue their development and finance the project. Monolith believed they had enough sway to convince WB Games to help them publish Legacy, since they have earned their stars and stripes from the Middle-earth series, back in 2014 and 2017. And then fast forward to 2021, Warner Bros. Decided to suddenly change direction, and they canceled the Legacy project. This caused the entirety of leadership from Monolith Productions, including many developers, to leave the studio. These people who left later joined EA and formed Cliffhanger Games, the studio that was developing the Marvel Black Panther game recently. Between May and June in 2021, the team left and Monolith was ordered by WB Games to develop a Wonder Woman game. The game was teased at Game Awards later that year.
Restore what has been broken. Unite old enemies. Forge new bonds.
Then in late 2023 and early 2024, the Wonder Woman game was officially rebooted and the game took major direction changes. A new director came in, and the Nemesis system, originally in Shadow of War, was also drastically changed. Entering 2025, on February 25th, Warner Bros. Games officially axed the entirety of Monolith Productions and simultaneously canceled the Wonder Woman game. So the studio was gone. Then, in this May, just recently, May 29th, EA announced that they were shutting down Cliffhanger Games and also canceling the Black Panther game. So basically, now, the team that migrated to EA not long ago is also gone. The entirety of Monolith Productions is just no more. No more. It's kind of sad, honestly. It's completely no more. It's kind of sad. What strikes me as peculiar in this whole thing is that why did Monolith believe they could sway WB Games to help them publish the new IP? I was wondering, why wouldn't they just develop the third installment of the Middle-earth series? Like a Shadow of Fire, Shadow of Ice, Shadow of something. They could have continued the Middle-earth series. And I don't know why they didn't want to do it. Maybe because the story? I don't know. This is a good IP. Both Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor are great games. I recently just played Shadow of War, and it brings back memories. These games were like the games you played when you were on the first-gen Xbox and the Xbox 360. A lot of the game mechanics mirror those old games. It's a special kind of feeling. The early Xbox games Shadow War is a fun game to play. Great story, great gameplay, great combat, great game mechanics, great scores. And great female characters. So when Warner Bros. Were interested in keeping this established IP, Monolith's action in developing a new IP strikes me as peculiar. Like I'm curious, why was Monolith interested in developing a new IP instead of cultivating the established one? They also thought that they had enough sway to convince their boss, Warner Bros., to help them publish their new IP legacy. Also, WB Games was financing them the whole time until 2021, when they made the decision to cut the project and force them to develop the Wonder Woman game. I'm not saying Monolith did anything wrong. It's great they were pursuing something of their own, but dropping the Middle-earth series feels kind of like a waste. Also, nowadays in the video game market, it is honestly difficult for new IPs to break into the market and become blockbusters. Established IPs usually sell more. New IPs usually tank, and it's make or break for them. Take Immortals of Avion, for example. It's a game developed by EA, and it is a first-person shooter game that is about shooting magic. Basically, just shooting magic out of your hand. The game cost EA north of $100 million USD to develop and advertise. And I remember the development budget was somewhere around $70 million, and marketing was like $40 million. And they have only recovered a fraction of that cost. It was something like $1 to $3 million in sales, less than that. So it's kind of crazy to me, like the game was out in 2023 and it was a new IP developed by Ascendant Studios and published by EA. EA poured a lot of money into this game and it just tanked, completely tanked. This is just the reality for the video game market these days. There was also this game Forsaken, a PS5 game, that also like kind of lukewarm. That was like a lukewarm game. So nowadays, unless you have something absolutely original, you can't have great success. This is usually not very viable for new IPs. For established IPs like GTA, Red Dead Redemption, Assassin's Creed, Call of Duty, etc., when they push out new titles, people talk shit about them all day, and leave them bad reviews, but they still sell. And the sales are good. Gamers complain, but they still open their wallets. Especially in the video game business, sales is everything. When you have spent $100 million to develop a video game and nobody buys it, that's the biggest fail of a business decision. It's kind of sad to see Monolith's production is gone now. I honestly wish it could develop a new Middle-earth game. They even have DLC episodes for Shadow War, so it really looked like there could be a trilogy. Also, I'm kind of interested in seeing a 60 FPS, PS5 Pro, Middle-earth game. That would be really cool, no? So, what it would look like. I'm genuinely curious. But it's just gone by now. It's gone. So it's kind of sad, it's kind of sad. So that's the video for today. You can like and subscribe.